we have an exclusive interview with Dele Ferrotimi, perhaps Nigeria's most famous political activist and lawyer, who's just come out of jail. He's out on bail after being accused of defamation. The man who he has allegedly defamed, Afe Babalola, is himself a senior lawyer, and Dele, in his latest book, accuses him of corruption, and he doesn't stop there. Dele accuses the entire Nigerian justice system of being rotten from top to bottom. The book, Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System, has been banned by the authorities, but since his arrest, its sales have skyrocketed. Now, geography matters in this case. Delhi is in Lagos, but he was arrested, he says abducted, and driven hundreds of kilometers away to a city where defamation is a more serious offense. So what does Dele Ferrotimi's case tell us about Nigeria today? To unpick this complex but important story, I was joined by Patrick Smith, editor of Africa Confidential, and Donu Kogbara, writer, broadcaster, and commentator who's in the Nigerian capital, Abuja. You're in Lagos, Dele, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Welcome to Africa Here and Now. Now, as I understand it, I'm not a lawyer, but we can't go into the details of the legal charges that have been levelled against you for fear of breaching sub judice rules. But we can ask you why you think you ended up in jail with a slew of defamation allegations against you.
Let's just say that I didn't expect the subjects of my book to embrace me and smoke the peace pipe and sing Kumbaya. I always expected that there would be reaction.
This is the book, by the way. It's called Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System. You obviously offended some people, if not a single person. As I say, we can't go into the details of that, but it was the offense apparently in this book that got you into trouble. Is that right?
Yes, it's the events recorded in the book that offended the principalities and powers in my country. Let's just put it that way. The things I had to say in the book, the events I recorded for posterity in the book, the totality of the offenses I am alleged to have caused and the crimes I'm supposed to have committed are encapsulated right there in the book. That's what it's all about, nothing more.
And you were detained for about 3 weeks. That seemed to have had a fairly overwhelming effect on you. I looked at some videos you made shortly after your release, and it seemed you seemed completely and profoundly moved by what had happened to you.
Let's say that, number one, the word detained in Nigerian lexicon speaks to the military era where an individual could summarily, at his pleasure, have somebody detained. Now, I said somebody, I didn't use the word citizen. You can't detain a citizen because citizenship it presumes the rule of law if you're talking citizenship. So in the days of the military, because we could not be citizens, since we were not governed by law, it was all right for somebody to summarily detain a person. In this case, I would prefer that we use the word imprisoned, because a process that advertises itself as being lawful had me remanded in prison custody. Now, the legality of that process will become the subject of litigations in the coming days, because it is my contention that the law did not apply in my imprisonment. I was imprisoned without the due process of the law. I was abducted from my office in Lagos. Policemen crossed 5 state lines from Ekiti to come to Lagos to abduct me in my office. These policemen picked me up and took me in company of a private security person who works for Mr. Afe Babalola. They abducted me from my office and hauled me before a magistrate on a charge that is unknown to law in Ekiti State. And I was sent to prison on account of that.
Could we explain who Afe Balola is?
He's just another lawyer. He's one of our most revered senior advocates, one of the doyens of the legal profession in Nigeria. That's who he is. Just another individual as myself.
Well, he's quite a big name, a big personality. Most famous for giving £10 million to King's College London as a donation for students, African students who want to study human rights.
Dele, your ordeal has been described as the weaponization of the legal system against dissent. You presumably would agree with that. And this action was taken, I guess you would propose, in order to shut you up, really, because the person in question didn't like.
That's why blood sugar increases and the feet burn. Did you know that type 2 is a completely reversible condition? You might not know this, but the biological reason people struggle with type 2 has
what you said about him.
You know, in law, we have a Latin maxim, and I would say that and allow it to suffice as an answer to your question, since I don't want to fall foul of the rule that would guard me from speaking to the case. In Latin, we will say res ipsa loquitur. The facts speak eloquently for themselves. All I have done is to write a book. I might very well be wrong. Let's imagine that I am. Surely there must be a process allowed by law for dealing with errant, foolish writers who would dare to defame legal titans or even a mechanic. It wouldn't matter who have defamed. The truth of the matter is that a legal system works on the presumption that there must be justice for the aggrieved, justice for the accused, and justice for the society. So surely this cannot be the way the Nigerian state is structured to deal with those with whom we disagree. I met better men than myself in prison. People who have no business being there that are there. A society tells you how far it has walked on the journey to civilization by how it treats its weakest. I saw the way the Nigerian state treats its weakest, the prisoners. So I am thankful for my time there.
So, Dele, putting this current case aside, this is the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. You've actually been making trouble for the authorities for quite a long time now. For how long have you been an activist? Highly vocal activist?
In Nigeria, the word activist is one that I try to run away from. I like thinking that I'm simply another victim of Nigeria who is unwilling to accept his victimhood and would always fight to demand that I be treated as the citizen that the system pretends that I am. So I think I came to the knowledge of the loss of my citizenship, or perhaps, maybe properly put, the illusion of my citizenship when I was 16 years old. By the time I was 16 years old, I had an episode with the Nigerian state as represented by the Nigerian police, where I was succinctly reminded of the fact that I wasn't governed by law, but by the whims and caprices of men. And from that time, I'd always known that I was never going to be accepting of this.
You're now in your 50s, so that's 40 years. Yes, protesting for 40 years. But what I would like to...
What's your credit card debt balance? If it's $10,000 or more, here are 3 easy solutions you can start implementing today. And number 3 is an absolute game changer. Number 1, The first step to tackling your credit card debt is understanding how much debt you actually have.
Point out is that which I find interesting is that the offense, alleged offense for which you were locked up, is pretty mild compared to some of the things you've said against the system. Particularly, it's not just this government, it's not just this eminent legal luminary. You have actually been protesting for a long time about the many things that are wrong with the country and the system.
Well, let me put it this way. And this is what I've told people who have attempted to situate Tinubu within the context of my current experiences. I'm not new in the consciousness of the average Nigerian, but I think those who have initiated this round of battle grossly underestimated the person they came up against. They thought I was the average Nigerian. But the problem is that I am a victim who is aware of my victimhood. And I've been protesting on behalf of victims in Nigeria for a long time. So it was easy for the other victims to find their voices in demanding my release. It was a vicarious battle that they fought for themselves. They were not just fighting for me, they were also fighting for themselves. So it was a battle that those who picked me up did not expect. I've suffered persecution on multiple levels from the state and the system, but it had never come into the public glare. I didn't bring it into the public glare. I fought in my private space. This was just a situation where the system or principalities within the system overplayed their hand. This is what happens to the average Nigerian every day. Mine just happened to be one of those cases where the average Nigerian found his voice. That's the only thing that happened.
So, Dele, the situation as you describe it sounds quite intimidating, actually. How would you assess the space in Nigeria for freedom of expression and compare that, if you would, to previous phases of Nigeria's independence? You've obviously lived through several military regimes.
Well, let me just say that, unfortunately for the Nigerian, our situation has not changed throughout my own lifetime. What has happened is that the temperament of those in power and the readiness and tolerance of the victim has determined to a very large extent the relationship between Nigerians and those who have ruined our country. Obasanjo is probably the most intelligent of the lot that has ruled Nigeria, but he is not in any way much different in temperament or tolerance for dissent as the current ones that have occupied the office in recent times. Their pretensions and delusions might differ, but the preoccupation of the men of power in Nigeria have never been different. They just want to keep the people supine while they continue to plunder the treasury and really do nothing for the people. Whether it's been the military or it's been the succession of bandits who have called themselves politicians, the reality is that the Nigerian situation has not changed. The Nigerian has never been governed by law. If a place is not governed by law, but is governed by the temperament, whims, and caprices of men, it simply means that that space is governed by impunity.
Dele, how do you go about changing this then? Is it just down to the politicians, or I mean, why don't the lawyers take it on?
No. The change must begin with those who should be citizens but aren't. I have been in the national consciousness for about a decade now, and the totality of my role in that space has been to awaken the consciousness of the people to the point where they realize that if Nigeria is going to be rescued, it will be because they not the government, not the politicians, not Britain, not the US, not China. It will be because Nigerians found the grace to become. The biggest problem with Nigeria is that it is a country without citizens. When you don't have citizens in a country, you cannot demand patriotism of persons who are not citizens. So what we have, first of all, is a country that needs to be bettered first. The Nigerians have to have an understanding of the fact that this is their homeland. So they need to own it. It is when they own it that they will demand better, both of themselves and of their ruiners. We are the problems, but we are also the solution. Looking to our politicians for help or for change is a waste of time.
You're a great believer in the people, the power of the people, which you feel is dormant, hasn't really been unleashed. Why do you think Nigerians are so complacent, cowardly even?
I think that's a misstatement of the Nigerian reality. The unfortunate reality of the Nigerian is that we are all victims. But we almost always find ourselves victimized and divided by those who should show us the commonalities of our affliction. They divide us behind ethnicity, they divide us behind religion, they divide us behind the most stupid things in the world. Those who rule Nigeria deliberately divide Nigerians along multiple fault lines. So when you have a situation where the Nigerian is constantly divided, it becomes next to impossible to unite them behind common purposes. And when they cannot be united behind common purposes, it becomes easy for them to become long-suffering, not necessarily because they cannot fight, but because they've been divided. So when something happens to someone who happens to be from a different ethnic background, it's okay. You legitimize the evil because it's not one of yours.
Well, that didn't happen with you, Dele. Let me stop you right there. That didn't happen with you.
Because I had been deliberate over the course of my life in Nigeria to make clear that the ethno-religious fault lines are irrelevant to your victimhood as a Nigerian. All they merely did was to provide a platform by which Nigerians could find validation for the arguments that had been raising for a long time. The person who initiated my victimization is a Yoruba man, just like myself. If he were to be an Igbo person or a Fulani person or an Hausa person or an Ijaw person, they would have found a way to couch this in ethno-religious terms. But the only thing that unites Nigerians without equivocation is our common victimhood. So I had a situation where what I had been preaching and shouting about for years was playing out in public glare. So that it didn't happen to me. That was what brought me to tears. The realization that the Nigerian has actually begun to find themselves. They started finding themselves because in speaking for me, I became a composite. The problem with Nigeria is that we've never identified whom the Nigerian is because we have multiple divisions of the Nigerian. But in me, it became easier for a lot of people to find themselves. I was a victim of the system against which I had railed for years. And what I had been complaining about was being done in full glare. That's what it was.
When you were in custody, a lot of people were, well, not a lot, some people were saying that we should go and beg Efe Babalola, the man who put you in behind bars. Because, you know, he's an elderly person. And here we have worship, what I call elder worship. So some people felt we should just go and beg the old man to let you go. And indeed, that was the approach that some people took. But when I spoke to you a few days later, shortly after you were released, you made it very clear to me that you did not appreciate people begging on your behalf. How long I know this is a silly question in some ways. How long would you have been willing to stay in prison?
Well, put it this way. I did tell my wife, my lawyers, and a lot of my friends, in fact, everybody who came visiting at Ado-Ekiti prison, I told them very clearly that I didn't expect to come out until February. I knew that the system wouldn't be able to keep me beyond February because I knew I hadn't done anything to have deserved my abduction in the first place. But I had figured that the system might be obdurate and that it might take running through the entire system before I would be released. I did not, in good conscience, expect the level of support that Nigerians threw behind me. And I'll tell you straight up, without the level of support that the average Nigerian across the ethno-religious divide threw behind me, the demand for my release, the demand that the system should work properly and lawfully, I would have actually remained there until February. That I came out as early as I did is a testament to the willingness of the average Nigerian to speak for me. That was what overwhelmed me when I started weeping during my Sunday broadcast. But to be frank with you, I was prepared to be there until February. That was my expectation.
And the picture you've painted of Nigeria today, Dele, is a pretty bleak one. But the rallying behind your cause seems to have given you at least some cause for optimism. Do you maintain that a new Nigeria is still possible?
Oh, I'll die the day I stop believing in that. I live in the hope that we can birth a Nigeria that our children can be proud of. I live in that hope. If I gave up on that hope, I'd flee Nigeria like other members of my generation and economic class. The average Nigerian middle class person is either fleeing, planning to flee, or has fled. That is a class that has more or less disappeared. I live in the hope and faith and believe that it is possible to birth a Nigeria that can be a first world country in a couple of generations because we have both the human and material resources to get it done. So yeah, I believe, and it gave me a lot of hope.
And that ends our first episode of season 4. You can see all of our past shows on our YouTube channel or on the website Africa Here and Now.
Find the lowest priced health plan.
Our next story is about corruption. This is a global problem. It plagues a number of countries, but some more than others. Among those at the top of the list is Nigeria. Nigeria is Africa's most populous nation. It used to be Africa's biggest economy as well, but it has now slipped to 4th place. This slide is often linked to President Bola Tinubu, his economic policies, and his reputation for corruption. Tinubu recently featured on a list, the list of the most corrupt leaders in the world. The winner was former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. He was followed by Kenya's William Ruto. But Tinubu made the top 5. Now, I must clarify here that these rankings were sourced from the public. There wasn't a scientific formula involved. It was about public perception. And Tinubu is perceived to be extremely corrupt. So is his government. There are a number of reasons for this. Let me show you some of the latest examples, starting with the government. Nigeria has an anti-corruption agency. It is called the EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. This is Nigeria's watchdog. Its job is to tackle corruption, and technically they are doing that, but at home. Let's show you today's major headline. The EFCC has detained 10 of its own over some missing items. This statement was put out by the agency. You'll notice that they said some operational items could not be accounted for. Okay, that sounds like some missing equipment. But then the Nigerian press dug a little deeper, and it turns out that the operational items were jewelry and cash worth $350,000 to $400,000. What operations were they pulling off with all that jewelry? 10 EFCC officers were detained in Lagos. They are apparently answering questions. That is all that the commission has revealed. They haven't told the public who the corrupt officers are. I know it's innocent until proven guilty, but the very same commission usually does not follow this. They happily share the names of under trials, but suddenly the agency is shy about revealing the names of its own officers. And this has been quite a bad week for them. They were forced to make another announcement on Monday, telling the people that 27 other officers had been dismissed for fraudulent activities and misconduct. This is not a great look for Nigeria's anti-graft watchdog, and definitely not a good look for the Tinubu government. Bola Tinubu is 72 years old. He's been around for a while. He's a seasoned politician. So as you would expect, he has been linked to a number of scandals over the decades. One of the worst involved drug dealing. Tinubu allegedly held money from drug trafficking in his accounts. This was according to the US Justice Department. Tinubu, of course, never accepted the charges, but he did pay out a settlement worth $460,000. Now, these charges are old. No final verdict was reached. So let's put them aside for now. After all, people can supposedly change. So what has Tinubu been up to recently since he became president? Well, he was caught up in a fake diploma scandal for a while. There were allegedly some errors in his college certificate. Okay, mistakes happen, moving on. Then there was a major scandal involving a highway. Tinubu issued a $13 billion government contract to a company co-owned by his son. Tinubu is quite the caring father, apparently, but alas, most people do not see it that way. That is why he made it to the top 5 in the Corrupt Person of the Year award. The perception is quite prevalent, and reports say that he is quite vexed. He's even hired American lobbyists to clean up his image. He's reportedly paying them $2.7 million, though I wonder, is he paying from his own pocket or Nigeria's treasury? I suppose we'll find out eventually.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines.
Just before I go, and here is my final word, everyone, and it's directly to Mr. President. And I hope it's not too late to tell him a happy new year. And I'm hoping it's a new year, new Nigeria. There are a lot of people who say, new year, new me. Hoping it's a new year, new president, new Nigeria. Well, Mr. President, Nigerians are watching. They are counting the months, the weeks, and the days. And in 4 short months, your administration will enter its 2nd year, a pivotal milestone where patience gives way to accountability. You campaigned on the promises of renewed hope, better security, abundant food supply, and policies that should lift millions from hardship and poverty. Yet, after a year marred by soaring tariffs, crippling energy costs, and dwindling purchasing power, millions of Nigerians are grappling with unprecedented hardship. The question that echoes across the land is, where is the light at the end of the tunnel? But I hope everyone might want to start afresh with a renewed vigor and hope that 2025 will be a better year. You assured Nigerians that this pain is a prelude to progress, a difficult but necessary phase that would yield joy and prosperity. And Nigerians, resilient as ever, they've kept faith with you and in your words. But faith, Mr. President, is not infinite. Time is your most fleeting asset, and it is slipping away. As you approach the halfway mark of your 4-year term, it is clear the clock is not on your side any longer. The policies you've introduced require visible results. The people demand proof that their sacrifices will not be in vain. President Tinubu, Nigerians understand that you are not a magician, but he elected you with the hope that your policies would bring relief, not amplify their sufferings. Today, they are grappling with soaring inflation driven by the removal of fuel subsidies, skyrocketing food prices that have left over 30 million citizens at risk of hunger, and a naira devaluation that has crippled purchasing power. Transportation costs are at an all-time high. Businesses are struggling under regulatory uncertainties, and public outrage is mounting over government spending on luxury items while many live in abject poverty. Nigerians are not asking for miracles. They're asking for focus, action, and empathy. Fix at least 3 issues that directly impact the survivor. Stabilize food prices, make transportation affordable, and reduce inflation. You must assemble the best minds, regardless of region or allegiance, to tackle these challenges. Time is not on your side, Mr. President. Nigerians need urgent results, and they are watching. This new year offers you a fresh opportunity to reset, to lead with empathy, and to demonstrate that you truly mean well for the Nigerian people. Reduce the cost of governance, lead by example, and show Nigerians that sacrifice begins at the very top. Our leaders cannot luxuriate in opulence while citizens languish in poverty. This is the time for decisive, transformative action. Nigerians deserve a leader who is firm yet compassionate, bold yet introspective, and unwavering in his commitment to deliver the better Nigeria he promised. History is calling, Mr. President, and so are the people of Nigeria. As the media, we pledge to hold you accountable, to amplify the voices of the voiceless, and to demand justice for every Nigerian struggling to breathe under the weight of economic hardship. The sands of time are shifting. President Bola Tinubu, will you write your name in gold? And that is my final word tonight. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm Sean Kemale. Good night.
I call them inside world. I mean, I keep on breathing. I call them outside world, not Chris World. Chris World. Chris World. Chris World. Chris World. Chris World. Hey. Chris World. Hey. You. Eh? Chris World. Yeah. You. Eh? Na Chris. Hey. I dey listen to Beast of No Nation. Yeah. Ah. Na Chris World be that too. Yeah. Hey. Eh? My people are stupid. My people are useless. My people are indisciplined. Hey, na Chris Word. Aye, na Chris Word be that. My people are useless. My people are indisciplined. Don't be today that they abuse you now. Eh? My people are indisciplined. Hey, government, oh, hey. My people are useless. Hey, animal talk. As you see them, na so guys then they oh, animal in human skin, animal in wear agbada, animal in putu suto. As you see them, na plenty disguise then they oh, animal in human skin. Animally, wear agbada, animally putu suto. Hey, hey, hi, oh, Naija man. Welcome, oh, my people. Hey, abeg o, na Fela na him wake me up this morning. Una hear wetin Dele Farotimi talk, abi una no hear? The man don talk wetin he talk. Una hear say una president, he dey bribe money. He go dey bribe 1.7 million. 1.7, so that they go clean him books. We dey here, Nigerians. Una not ready. Me, I don talk am. I don't see an election in 2020. Romari, yeah. Romari, where have you been? It's my latest hit, oh. Omo, it's my latest. Everybody know I don't turn to artist now. Nigeria matter. Don't make me turn to artist. It's my latest hit. How are you doing, girl? Long time. Oh, I have missed you, Romari, to be honest. I haven't seen you in a while. I've been thinking about you in my mind, you know. But anyway, I guess on our president, he paid 1.7 Abi, it'll be $1.7 million a corner to clean a book. You know why he's doing that? Election they come 2027. For those of you that are talking about election, I hope that you are holding them by the jugular. You have to start talking about this electoral reform. You guys should have been talking about it long before now. But okay, any day when person wake up, 9 in the morning, this is what you should be hawking like hot akara right now. Hot akara. Electoral reforms. They should be talking about it everywhere. Social media, everywhere. Everybody should be talking about electoral reforms, judiciary cleanse. How you guys are going to achieve it, don't ask me. I don't know. Because the system is messed up. Okay? You have, look at what is going on. The man that was feeling like a King Kong in the Lagos Council, you saw how they kicked him out. You know, even the man don't even think. You are in the emperor's city, emperor's location. You want to come and do gra. I want to tell people that you want to be governor. As in how? How do you want to be governor? How? When the emperor's son says he wants to be. Maybe we're doing like Goliath 2023 election. All of una, I remember this Obasa well. He was a threat. Maybe he's a judge. Is he not a judge or something? He they wear one long wig. I've been a son. I don't even know. Hey, Tracy, beast of no nation. Make I put it in. Human being. Hey, human rights. Well. Hey. I beg you, make you hear me well. Hey. Property. Give me you party. Now my property. Human rights. Talk like this. Hey. You know. This surprising will bring back the beast in us. It's surprising. Hey. We'll bring out the beast in us. This surprising will bring out the beast in us. Hey! Hey, Quinty, welcome. Oh. Human rights. Hey! Human rights. human rights. Can't dash me, human rights. Many leaders, as you see them, that then they animally human skin, animally putu tayo, animally wear agbada, animally putu sutu. Na different is kind then they animally putu sutu. Hey. Society, peace of no nation. Hey, peace of no nation. Hey, society. Hey, peace of no nation. Hey, peace of no nation. Hey, hear those drums, man. Hey. Woo! My people. Hey. Yeah. Omo, Fela give us exposings. We not just listen well, to the lyrics of the songs. He said, my people are useless. My people are useless. My people are indisciplined. Now government talk now. Which kind animal talk be that? You see how long they disrespect Nigerians they come? Hey! Da-da-da-da-da. Woo! Da-da-da-da-da. Eh? Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da. Eh? Ba-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Eh? Letting me as you see them. Hey! Then they animal in human skin. Kayo, animal in poo. Eh? Putu suto. Egbe. Hey! Beast of no nation. Egbe. Beast of no nation. Hey! Bam! Woo! Una welcome, Mr. Chill. How now? Welcome. Eh, I woke up to Fela. Woo! Ginger. Fela has been talking about. Woo, let me catch my breath. Fela has been talking about this nonsense that your people have been doing for a long time. Your government has been doing. They have no respect for you. They have not had respect for Nigerians since time immemorial. Can you imagine when Fela sang this song? Fela sang this song a while ago. Hold on, please. Fela sang this song a while ago, my people. But look at how it resonates today. It resonates today. Your people are useless. Your people are stupid. Your people are indisciplined. Which kind talk? Now government talk amo. Which kind animal talk be that? You say you go UN, you want to give us human rights. How you go take give us waiting be my own already? My people, please go and listen to Beast of No Nation. Now that one I wake up to this morning. Almost everybody that is talking election 2027 na carry am for head a hawk like hot akara. Biko, make una start today. You see, this electoral reform, it must happen. You guys should be talking about it with everything that you have. Just judiciary. I don't know how people are going to cleanse it. Don't ask me how, because me, I don't know. All the lawyers, I'm wondering, are the lawyers not happy as they are graduating? Their profession is already bastardized by those that came before them. And is that not enough to anger them so that they can be an all-out protest in whatever way, right, against the judiciary itself? You have people that are not qualified to be judges that are judges. Some of them did not even go to law school. They just put them there. How do you know? They forge certificates and give to them. Allegedly. Before somebody comes and says you did not. Allegedly. How are you people okay with that? Before any election must take place, you guys need to clean your houses. Clean house first needs to happen. Otherwise, Nigeria, we go nowhere. We go nowhere. Now is the time, if you're on social media, start to showcase all those what do they call them? All those crimes when T-Pain commits, because he's trying to clean his image. You people should remind him. Don't let him. You guys should not sleep on this. So this is where it should be heightened. Remind people about his sins, about the number of people that have been unalived since he came in, the number of people that have been added to poverty. You people, this is the time. To shake everywhere. Every day, make it a hear him. Every day. You people should be inundating him. Electoral laws without it being reformed, your judiciary without anything happening, you're on a long thing. Because if those two things can be taken care of, you won't have to worry about the police. You won't have to worry about the army. But right now, you are fighting only you as a citizen. Police is against you. Soldier go come flog you now for no reason. The people are supposed to be in barracks. They will flog you people anyhow. You go to court, you can't even get justice. You can't. As a citizen, the justice goes to the highest bidder. It is paid for. Yeah, right? Your electoral law. Did you see Mahmoud come out again and saying they are capable of doing the local government election, and they are talking about the billions of naira that they need? According to that's probably payments again for hijacking the election so that T-Pain can come back. If T-Pain come back to Nigeria, oh my God. If you not do the needful this time, I don't know what else to say. If you need inspiration, please go and be listening to Fela's song, because I'm getting my inspiration from him. Go and be listening. That man he put some kind things inside music. You go hear, you go believe. Yes, Tracy, human rights now my property. So therefore, you can't dash me my property. Back down, Tracy, your head did here. Mystery of life. I am dancing, my sister. I have to dance to ginger myself. Nigeria matter. You have to sometimes dance. Today, I say no. As I was feeling, Kachi, welcome, Kachi Network. Thank you very much. Eh? As I dey feel the song permeate through my soul, my body, I say no. This has to carry on. This is it. You understand? So, my people, this is not going to be a long one, but I just came here to say, you heard when Delivery to me said it was the fact that people came together, regardless of religion, tribe, and spoke out for him. That's why he came out earlier than he anticipated. Did you hear when he said that he thought he was going to remain there till February? I'm sure you all heard that, right? It was your voices. Everybody coming together, reading his book, demanding for his release. That's what made him come out earlier. I say they would have forgotten him if nobody said anything. So it's the same attitude that we need to carry. For those of you that are saying election, me, I don't see an election in 2027, but we can walk and chew gum at the same time. If you say you believe in election, I dare your side. I will support you, make my platform available. But what I will not do is go through the emotional roller coaster I went through 2023. It's not going to happen. So you guys need to get your ducks in the row now. So that when the candidates are showing up 2027, already you don't already take care of the home front. Let me repeat them again. Electoral reform and Mahmoud must go. Mahmoud Okoye, all of them. And they have to be chosen by citizens. So I need to vote. Say, okay, now this person we want. And now that person they go put. How it go to happen? I don't know. There are no impossibilities. Okay? If you want things to happen, they will happen. The power is in the hands of the citizens. But because you fail to use your power and recognize you have the power, that is why we are where we are. If you use your voice, you refuse to be silenced, and people are aware and they are backing you up, you cannot go wrong. Okay? So for those of you that are clamoring for election 2027, go and be doing the hard work now of screaming from the top of your lungs. Electoral reforms. Electoral what? Reforms. Judiciary cleanse. Yes, I did sweat. Oh my God. And I just come back from gym. Okay, another shower loading. Animally, we are bada. I'm telling you, Tracy. Hey, do you understand? Yeah, exactly. Misty, thank you. It helps to protect your mental health. And Fela's musical messages were deep and phenomenal. I tell you, Bagam, I've been listening to his music now for some days. The thing is gingering me. The times I don't feel like coming out and bringing out all the poison that they are feeding people with in Nigeria. Now, Fela song that they turn to, that man, it be like say they live in this present time that we are in. How can a man, that's why people call him a prophet. Because he was saying it as it is. The man was a truth teller. See, the truth will always stand the test of time. In whatever you do, stand for the truth. That is the only thing that will last. Every lie is going to collapse. Okoye disappeared now. We know they hear him again. When they, when I remember as that much they talk, they get full stop or comma. You go, this is how I picture him talking. When I listen to them, when they talk for Rise News or channels, bam. Next thing, you don't finish. I go say, what did the man talk just now? It's almost like he rushes through it before they have any question for him. He don't rush out so that they go say, okay, I've done the interview. I've never seen human beings like that before. So all of you that are shouting, let's wait, let's try and do this thing, go and clean house. Go and start doing the sanitation now. Go and get on the national news. Let the subject be about electoral reform. Carry placard, electoral reform. We demand it. It must happen. I'm not going to follow on a cry 2027. Lying, it will not, I will be sipping on my pina colada by the beach somewhere. I'm telling you people right now. Because guess what? If we do not help ourselves, nobody's going to help us. We will be here counting pennies. All the money you are working, if you have family back home, you'll be sending half of it home. You will have no choice. Unless you're just a wicked person and say, let them die in hunger. That's your own choice. But say election, they come 2027 and people are not already shouting from the rooftop, say, we demand electoral laws, we demand judiciary reforms. You guys are on a long thing. Don't talk to me about everybody should come to and be speaking English. You know, the juxtaposing of the BVN and the waiting be the other thing where they use for voting that time. The BVN and the something, by the time we do this, then the collaboration of the collaborative. No, so as I be speak English for Nigeria, where I no go follow na date here, they speak the English. I no go follow una, they speak English. Lie, it's not going to happen. So everybody that is talking election, you are choosing candidate. This is my candidate. Peter Obi has not come out to say he wants to run for election. And he never talk, I never say I'm coming out as until I hear that one. And I see all the candidates that are available. Okay? The person that is going to deliver Nigeria, that's who I'm backing. Now, dear me, person when go save Nigerians from themselves, because clearly Nigerians back home have been beaten down. So it's the person that will save them for themselves. That is who I'm supporting. No, if it ends up to be Peter Obi, a day like Aragai glue, go nowhere. But if I say electoral reform, now the same need compose nicely there, the same beasts of no nation, nine food there, forget. It ain't happening. I go y'all leave my platform now. I go waka comot. It's as simple as ABC. ABC. Okay? All right? It's as simple as ABC. All right? So, guys, that's it. I just came here to come and bring the ginger on. And also, I really wanted to show Dele Farotimi's video. I wanted us to talk about it. I'm glad that he's picking up. And there's, of course, there's certain things he won't be able to say, right? Because the matter is still in court. And I know he has to go to different parts of the country for court hearing and all of that, you know? So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So for those of you that are on social media, put the you see that drug dealing, everything, put it on the front. If it was in the back burner again, put it on the front, because that's what you're going to be rolling that tape. We cannot forget the people that were fired, everything that happened. Roll it, start rolling it now, so that people's minds will remind people, if this is what you want to continue for 2027. They not born the person when we go come here, they talk say is a strategist. They not born that person where already anybody that comes and be talking, he's a strategist, he develop people, he lift people, all the people he lift up, thieves, all of them. How come they are all thieves? Nothing to show for it, no good work. They should come and tell us how he's a strategist. With a stinking state that he has, they should come and tell us, I'm here, I'm ready. All right, guys, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed my little moves right there. Hey, So I hope you enjoyed that move. And I wish you all a wonderful day. And I'll see you on my next one. I probably will come back later on in the evening. I'm not sure yet. But it depends on what happens. I'll come here and come and shout again. Thank you so much. Tracy, I love you, my sister. Quinty, I appreciate you guys. Gist and Chill, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Misty, my darling. Thank you very much. Romani, my love, you don't say. Romani, come back again. Romani, no run. Oh. We are in this together. Professor Romani, please, don't run. Niger man, thank you very much. All of them. Mona, enjoy. AB, thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful day. All right. Bye.